Today is Blog Action Day 2008, and the subject is poverty. Today we're supposed to talk about something related to the subject of poverty. I choose our need to spend money to get us out of this economic problem. The problem, as I have discussed in previous videos, and I will discuss more in the future, is that in the United States, our ability to create jobs has been severely wrecked, resulting in the lowest decade-long production of jobs, just under 5 million, that we've experienced in our history. By contrast, over the past 30 years, before the last 10 years, we were producing jobs at the rate of 20 million every decade. 20 million. The other problem is that we have people who simply aren't looking for work anymore. You know, I just came back from a nice debate, a political candidates forum, and we all went out afterward. Would you be surprised to learn that half the people at the table were looking for work? That's right. They were unemployed. And they weren't the kind of people you'd think, okay, they don't have a job. No. We're talking about professional people, white-collar people out there looking for work. Half the table. I'll revise that. 60% were looking for work. We have a tremendous problem here, and yet, and I'm going to direct this right at you, Anderson Cooper, who I respect and admire. You have a segment on last night that questions whether or not we can afford to pay for the programs we need to get out of this mess. But look, no one asked us if we could afford the Iraq War. No one asked us where the $10 billion we spend per month to go over there is coming from. Why is it that when we have this need to take care of our own, it's suddenly an expensive proposition? But we have this need to wage war on someone else in another country, basically throwing our dollars out of the country, we don't question where that money is coming from. That is irresponsible. Look, John Maynard Keynes, the famous economist, understood and demonstrated and proved that we could spend our way into economic prosperity even as the United States was running a government budget deficit. We're in exactly the same position today. But what bothers me is that we didn't suddenly just inherit a deficit. We've had budget deficits each year of the Bush administration. Each year. It was okay to spend money during a time of war. But now, at a time when our country needs to take care of its own, it's suddenly a problem. That's completely irresponsible. What programs like Anderson Cooper 360 should be asking is, how do our current set of program proposals compare with those of the Great Depression, and what would John Maynard Keynes say about this, let alone my economic hero and his disciple, John Kenneth Galbraith? It's time that we really put our collective nose to the grindstone and understood the problem that we're facing right now. A lot of us don't, and a lot of news people apparently don't either. But you know what? You got to get educated. For the problem is jobs. It's not just jobs here, it's jobs abroad. And it's not just the number of jobs, but it's what people are being paid to do those jobs. The United States, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, is facing a period where its very socio-economy is being torn asunder by growing international divisions of labor, where one person at a call center in India works for a credit card company based in America, which also has other organizations and facilities in Canada and other countries, and scant fewer employees in America because of this split. That's the international division of labor. Those persons working in other countries make less than the persons in America, reflecting our different standards of living. But it's hurting America because that same company is depressing wages right here at home. We're getting to a point where we have to ask ourselves what we're going to do to keep our very own people out of poverty. You know, we're talking about the world poverty problem, but we have a large and growing poverty problem right here in the United States. It's not evident in absolute numbers. It's evident in those hidden numbers of underemployment. In that person you meet that's looking for work, which will be the same person you encounter a month from now, still looking for work. And more than likely, the same person you encounter 2 months from now, still looking for work. Is that the kind of country we want to evolve? Of course not. We have to spend money, A, to solve the jobs problem, and B, to solve the income problem. Those are the two major problems. We have to pick industries and companies to subsidize their wages and make sure those industries are healthy. In fact, healthier than they've ever been. I choose the automobile industry, for example. But we really need to take this aspect seriously. We need to establish our own war on poverty right here in the United States. A serious one. One that's better financed than the global war on terror we've been fighting, because it's that much more expensive. We've got to get serious. We've got to get out of this problem right now.